So here we are to sort of interact, enjoy for a while about filling up the online application form, as UPSC calls it, OAF. There is absolutely nothing to worry about overall filling up OAF. You can successfully prepare for main exam beginning 5 p.m. 25th of May. UPSC is asking for ITR for 3 years. UPSC is asking for all kinds of documents to be uploaded. In the current online application form, UPSC is not asking you to fill up the cadre preferences right now. You may or you may not notice that column number 20, the details I will tell you, they are about various particulars of your achievements. UPSC says all kinds of original certificates will be required after the mains. My dear friends, we are here to interact regarding filling up of UPSC Civil Service Exam 2025. So, as usual and forever, all my eternal, absolute and one conditional best wishes for all of you. That one condition at Chanakya Mandal Pariwar is always that you are determined to be clean and efficient Karyakarta Adhikari of Bharat. If you are determined to be so, then and only then you have my and Chanakya Mandal's best wishes. This is an absolutely important point, and I and we never ever even go beyond this point unless we mention this. All my eternal, absolute and one conditional best wishes, my dear friends. Namaste, and of course the deepest prayer at our heart, Sarvetra Sukhina Santu. Mangalam. That is, may everyone find bliss. So here we are to sort of interact, enjoy for a while about filling up the online application form, as UPSC calls it, OAF. OAF, the online application form. Now, even to prepare for this session, I have carefully gone through all kinds of documents and notifications and explanations given by UPSC. This I have not done in my life so far, mind you. In my life so far. When even I filled my own form, I never bothered to go into so many details. It was supposed to be one like activity to be completed. But I guess this is what people with sense of humor are calling as the Pooja Khedkar effect. Someone shared a meme with me wherein there was her photograph at the center and the words at the top were, "Hi guys," and words at the bottom were, "Need any help for filling up the DAF?" So here we are. Let us pay some attention to filling up. I inadvertently just called it DAF. So let me even correct myself. It is OAF, not DAF. DAF will stand for Detailed Application Form, but this time it is Online Application Form. So, my dear friends, the first and the most important point is there is absolutely nothing to worry about overall filling up OAF. Absolutely nothing to worry. I will, in addition to my interaction with you, I will tell you with 100% confidence that UPSC itself has given a self-explanatory OAF. So basically, all you have to do is peacefully, quietly, and without any sense of panic, just to fill up one by one. Wherever, if you have any question, I'm going to try and respond to some of them and hope that it helps you and most of your issues are sorted out. But I'm starting out by telling you that UPSC, which fortunately is a disciplined body and a reliable constitutional institution, has lived up to its own like reputation, image, and more importantly, duty, that OAF and attending instructions themselves are self-explanatory. At each column, UPSC has given the details. And personally, with respect to you, should you have any particular question, I know that the explanations are given there itself. Plus, there are one or two accompanying documents. They are there. So if you pay attention, for example, in addition to the session I'm conducting, I draw your attention to this particular document. UPSC has given on its website these frequently asked questions regarding filling up of OAF. So in addition to my session, basically, I'm sure that this will help you. Then there are also lots of detailed instructions. It is this document that I'm showing you. It is fully there. It is this document, instructions for filling online application form of Civil Service Exam 2025 and Indian Forest Service Exam 2025. This document. Huh? So this, I repeat, I know this will 100% help you. Then in addition to that, UPSC has also given helpline numbers. They are there. So in addition to that, if you think you have any problem, UPSC has stated helpline number. I'm quickly trying to sort of find out. It is the paragraph 6, this paragraph 6. Huh? Paragraph 6 of the document is this one, the exam notice. In the exam notice that UPSC has given, there are correct paragraphs stating, okay, candidates to ensure their eligibility for exam. Paragraph 2 is how to apply. Paragraph 3, 2.1 is modification in OTR profile, which is allowed for only 7 days from the last day, and after that no modification is allowed. Paragraph 2.2, etc. But I am straight away coming to and drawing your attention to paragraph 6. This paragraph 6. Huh? Paragraph 6 is facilitation counter for helpline for guidance of candidates. In order to save our time, I will not spend time telling you the phone numbers, but my team will do a quick and efficient job of also giving these numbers below the link, and feel free to call this number also. So like I said, UPSC does a good job, and in our national scene, this is a kind of redeeming feature, a sort of solace. So UPSC helpline. Okay. And then, of course, it goes without saying that Chanakya Mandal Pariwar is all the way with you. Even personally, I am all the way with you. And two of my faculty members, they are also attending this session. You can, I suppose you can see them on the screen. This is Ketan and Mayur. And my entire team is there to help you. So feel free to get in touch with us and get even your personal issues sorted out. My suggestion, as UPSC also has stated, is please don't delay the filling up of the forms. Don't delay it till the last day. Do it as early as possible for one very simple but important reason that UPSC hasn't mentioned in its notification. But all of us are human beings. And once you fill up the form OAF and upload it, send it to UPSC, then your mind tells you that final countdown has begun, that battle lines are drawn. And now every single day, every single hour matters. It is that inner kind of psychological feel that matters. Our sincerity, our intensity, our commitment to preparation also increases. Therefore, I urge you to fill up your form as early as possible. And then, of course, now is the time to totally, absolutely, fully focus on prelims and prelims alone. So, not a word, not a thought about mains, etc. That we will start thinking after 5 p.m. on Sunday, 25th of May. And maybe I will conduct a separate session either in coming days or some other time. But remember that from exam strategy point of view, now the first challenge to be overcome is to clear prelims. And therefore, full absolute focus on prelims and prelims alone. Don't worry about mains, etc. Let me assure you that whatever is your personal stage of preparation, whatever you think about your preparation regarding mains, let me assure you that you can successfully prepare for main exam beginning 5 p.m. 25th of May. But right now, our job is to get down to sort of final 12,500 from among maybe 15 lakh, 10 lakh, etc. Full focus on prelims and filling up the form and formally sending it to UPSC will inculcate this sense of sincerity, intensity, and commitment. Now, coming up to filling up the forms, like I said, our job is to, of course, fill it up honestly, wherever there are complications or issues, etc., etc. So, be it, say, the reservation category. Then within that reservation category, wherever creamy layer is applicable, or like EWS and all, UPSC is asking for ITR for 3 years. Income tax returns for 2021 2, 2022 3, and 2023 4. And of course, our job is to fill up all the form like honestly. Then uh, uh, the reservations for persons with disabilities. That too, the rules regulations are self-explanatory and you are required to upload the requisite document. This time, unlike all previous times, UPSC is asking for all kinds of documents to be uploaded. I will draw your attention to the fields which are marked with asterisks. That means they are mandatory fields. Please remember. And if you don't fill up them, your form will not even be accepted. It may mean rejected. And then there are some fields which do not have asterisks. Plus, UPSC is also asking for some kind of information with assurance that this is meant for like their study, and this information will not be publicly shared. It will not be publicly available. So fill up the form in a peaceful way. Choosing of your exam center, mind you. There also, each exam center has a certain defined capacity of how many candidates can appear from that exam center. That is also one more very practical reason why even I am suggesting to you to fill up the forms quickly, because if the capacity of that particular center is filled up, then that center will vanish from the list, the drop down list of available centers. And then you will be forced to pick up from remaining centers that may not be convenient for you. So fill up your form as early as possible. Also, all kinds of information, including your optional subject, the medium of exam, and requisite rules regarding even the medium for interview for personality test. And also, you need to be careful. You need to be very alert while filling it all. Now, I will specify and spend time on some very specific issues. Generally, I know that these are the questions in the minds of the students. So I will, as briefly as possible, I will try to deal with them. And then we will see if any one of you have any personal questions which we can answer right now, or you contact Chanakya Mandal and any and all our faculty members. One thing is about service preferences. My keyword is, of course, whatever life you want to live. Let me tell you that all services, my dear friends, are indeed equal. Okay, there is a certain list and a perception about, say, IAS being considered as the most like attractive, and most of us want to be IAS officers. Of course, my best wishes for all of you who want to be IAS officers. And maybe after that, it is Indian Foreign Service, and then IPS, Indian Police Service. These are three All India services. They are called All India services. Then followed by what are called as Central Service Group A. They are up to number 18. Number 18 after first three. So from number 4 to number 18, they are Central Service Group A. That will be Indian Revenue Service Income Tax, Indian Revenue Service Customs and Excise, Indian Audit and Account Service, Indian Information Service, there is Indian Trade Service, there is Indian Company Law Service, there is Indian Civil Account Service, and there is Indian Defense Account Service. Then there was, if I may say, IRMS, Indian Railway Management Service, which is again being separated into 4 services, and the candidates are given choice. So, broadly speaking, Central Service Group A, followed by last 5 are what are called as Central Service Group B. Okay. So, first of all services are equal. Again, first of all, any rank in UPSC is like national topper. Today, I will not spare much time explaining this point. But when more than 15 lakh, presumably best of the brains in the country, fill up the form for the exam, and then you can safely rest assured that at least double the number must have been preparing for the exam. but half of them decide to fill up the form now before 11th of February. And our usual experience says that half of them finally turn up for the exam. Okay, point is, from among millions of presumably best of the brains in the country, final selection is approximately 1000. This time it is 979. Okay. So any rank in those 979 is like India's topper. I will also right now choose not to go into the analysis of the scores. I'm well prepared about it. Suffice it to say that actually the distance between India's topper, so number one candidate selected, okay, and the last candidate selected, 979th next year, huh? That is also very small, broadly some 50, 70 marks, broadly speaking, to the base of 2025. The difference is barely like some 70, at the most say 100 marks, okay. So you focus on coming out with your best performance. And in terms of service choices, broadly, the sequence is as I just told you. But then it is everyone's personal reason also, what kind of life you want to live, etc. The significance will be your ability to explain your service preferences if the discussion comes up in the interview. And that I can assure you that it is most likely to come up. Like some people do not choose IFS. They place IFS very low. And I know that le de ke, ghoom fir ke, this question does come up in the interview. Why have you placed Indian Foreign Service so low? Think very careful about whatever is your reason. Generally, people talk about, say, taking care of parents or wanting to serve within the country, etc. You need to be very careful because please remember that officers from other services also, including IAS, IPS, IRS, can be picked up for posting outside India. So your argument or logic about that I want to serve within the country, you need to carefully think. Or where some youngsters say they have some family obligation, they need to take care of parents and all. Then there are rules and regulations within Indian Foreign Service which perfectly enable you to take care of your parents, your responsibilities and all. So these are sort of issues or questions to be anticipated when you fill up the service preferences. Some people, of course, place, say, IPS at number one because whatever is their fascination for the uniform, maybe home upbringing, maybe some parents, some grandfather, someone inculcated this. I'm telling you, it is all fair enough. But some people do not opt for IPS. If the reason is anything other than minimum required height, say for male, it is 165 cm. If you are going to say any reason other than height regarding not opting for IPS, let me tell you that no reason is valid. The simple summary, no reason is valid. I keep coming across youngsters who say that they think they are not suitable for police service. Probably with some image that police service means you have to be like tall, broad shoulders, husky Amitabh Bachchan like voice, telling everyone agar kisi ne hilne ki koshish ki to bhoon ke rakhunga, etc. All these are misunderstandings, mind you. There are many extremely successful police officers who are very soft spoken. Outwardly, you look at them, you won't even think they are police officers, but they are, let me tell you, they are very effective. Let me also tell you that all services have a place for every kind of character. Don't worry about who you are. Don't worry about what is your self-image, etc. But just focus on what you want to be in life and what are your preferences. and then place them at the higher level. Normally speaking, the sequence is these days the overwhelming preference is for IAS. Then personally, it kind of makes me sort of sad to note that youngsters have been choosing Indian Foreign Service less and less, less and less. Foreign service preferences go way below. Partially, it saddens me, I must tell you. Uh, my PhD is in Indian foreign policy. Whatever is the reason that I ended up joining IS. But right now, we are living in a time where India's importance in the world is increasing. And in coming, say, 30 years of your professional career, India is bound to emerge as a major global player where the role of Indian Foreign Service also will be ever increasing. And what greater honor than representing India on international platform. So let that be part of your thinking. Indian Foreign Service, I must tell you, is a beautiful service. It offers a lot of opportunities to serve the country and also grow as a person. So that may be, say, at number two, unless, of course, I know that they are rare, but some youngsters have IFS as first choice. Then generally followed by IPS, but like I said, any permutation combination. Then whatever are one's own reasons, the central service group A followed by group B. All so-called perception about which service is more powerful, etc., they are, I must tell you, misplaced. In fact, overall Indian administration is changing, and according to me, it is change for the better. Okay, that more than the service for which you are chosen, what matters is your performance once you are inside the service. The performance evaluation systems also have been undergoing a change, and that I can assure you that Government of India is increasingly noticing outstanding performers in many other services in addition to IS. So much about service preference. Then, usually they are followed with cadre preference, but I carefully saw that and confirmed that in the current online application form, UPSC is not asking you to fill up the cadre preferences right now. The notification says that like 10 days after the results of the prelims are announced, that will be your time to fill up the cadre preferences. So I will save time right now, and I am always there with you, behind you, for you. So even after the results of the prelims come up, I will be sharing details about cadre preferences. One simple point I will just say right now, okay, like all services are equal, okay. The most important point is entire India is our country. And all Indians are our people as long as they also are loyal to the country. All people are our people. All languages are our languages. So we will specify our cadre preferences, yes. But if after that, wherever we are allotted to, okay, as proud Bharatiyas, Indians, who believe in national unity and who understand that even the role and character of civil service is to contribute to national integrity. We will go to whichever state we are allotted to, and we will pick up that language as our people and those as our language and those people as our people. Normally speaking, in terms of cadre preferences, most of us almost naturally opt for home cadre, which is all okay and understandable. Then there are zones, and then within each zone you are required to assign, etc. Okay? But right now I will choose not to spare much time on that. Third area is the column number 20 in the current form. You may or you may not notice that column number 20, the details I will tell you, they are about various particulars of your achievements. And within that, there is like ABCD. So UPSC is asking you about various prizes or medals, etc., that you may have got. Then your interest in sports and also participation or representation in sports. Third part is any leadership positions you may have held in various capacities. And fourth part is extracurricular activities and or various hobbies. These four parts. Huh? The simple key I am suggesting to you is your honest answer. Within that honesty, please remember that the main title is particulars of your achievements, etc. Okay, I am drawing your attention to the words. They are at university, state, and national level. That you need to remember. That whatever these four categories you want to specify, they need to be at university level or state level or national level. So it's like I do keep coming across various forms when I deal with youngsters, say at the time of mains and also at the time of interview, that some say I played cricket in school or I was captain in my junior college, etc. Now, for the UPSC form purposes, no, UPSC is drawing your attention to this, that they are to be at university, state, and national level. Some youngsters write about having participated debate competition, quiz competition, say the National Science Olympiad or National Maths Olympiad, etc. So these are at university, state, and national level. And then at the risk of repetition also, I'm stating there are four. Okay. One, various prizes, etc. Two, sports, etc. Three, leadership positions you held. And four, extracurricular and or hobbies. I repeat, the honest answers. Don't worry about will my form look blank or white or whatever if I specify or I don't have many such achievements to my credit. Rest assured and relax that they do not matter for your selection. So whatever are your achievements in these four fields, do write them. UPSC says all kinds of original certificates will be required after the mains. There you will have to produce original certificates and all. I will also tell you that in this column that I am talking, uploading of the documents is not a mandatory field, mind you. It doesn't have asterisks there. So you can mention your achievements and wait for then clearing pre, then mains, and at the time of interview for personality test, you may be asked to produce original certificates. So write whatever are your genuine achievements in those regards. A more important point to remember here is whatever you write, please remember that they are the starting points of possible questions in the interview. Okay. So whatever you write, anticipate questions, and there you need to come across as genuinely well prepared. So I know that unfortunately at some places youngsters are told to like write something for the sake of writing. Write something so that your columns do not appear vacant or blank. Okay. So it shows you in a better light. At least personally, I must tell you with an absolute sense of conviction that I do not subscribe to this kind of view. My key is whatever are your honest answers. Then also those who sort of tutor youngsters like this, then they say that like whatever say hobby you write, huh? They say prepare for that hobby. So that some hobby has to be written there. I don't agree. If you genuinely have a particular hobby, then write it. And then, of course, prepare for it. But the first point is, do you genuinely have that hobby or that extracurricular activity or interest? Nothing to be written just for the sake of writing or under a misconception that my form may look sort of blank and it may not show me in the good light, etc. None of it is true. But point is, they are starting points of questions in the interview. There, you need to be extremely well prepared. To again cut this long story short and then come to the concluding part, so that for some 10-15 minutes, I take some questions from you, and some of them were appearing in the chat box, etc. Some youngsters write, say, reading. And then the natural flow of questions could be, okay, what do you like to read? Is it fiction? Is it non-fiction? Your preferred medium, do you like to read English, Hindi, Marathi, whichever is our Indian language? Okay, who are your favorite authors? What books have you read? And then from among them, some panel member may pick up some book. Or having heard you, some panel member may then ask you about some book. This is how the flow of the interview may go. And there you need to come across as competent one. What I have come across, unfortunately, sometimes some youngsters artificially write something as hobby. I just picked up reading as an example, but then they do not come across as well prepared on that one. That is where then unfortunately you stand to lose your marks. So whatever is your genuine hobby, there are like not even sky is the limit. Some people write cooking as hobby. Some people specify a particular type of cooking, North Indian food, cooking Malwa cuisine, cooking Maharashtrian food, veg food, non-veg food, biryani, etc. I'm deliberately taking all these names. So your mouths also begin to water as much as is my mouth watering with even the mention of all these food items. I have not had my breakfast this morning, and lunch is scheduled after this session. So I am sort of aesthetically torturing you by mentioning these. Then the question will be, okay, tell us the recipe, then some special features. Then also every food item has a certain historic background or cultural background. Or given a food item, there are different ways of preparing the same food item in different parts of the country, and so on and so forth. Someone says dancing, okay, music, watching movies, web series, following documentaries, nature, photography, thousands of them. While entering them, enter them honestly and remember that they are potential starting points of possible questions in the interview. Now, broadly speaking, I think I have dealt with, in anticipation of like possible questions, or after studying the documents of OAF carefully. And also, 2 days ago, I conducted an offline session for Chanakya Mandal students in Pune. Based on all that, these are the points I prepared. I hope most of your questions are answered. I'll just deal with one small kind of technical part, but important one in another 2-3 minutes. And then let us see if there are some questions which I may try to respond to. Youngsters have been asking me about, say, the photograph, what kind of background, etc., is required. I will draw your attention to all sorts of very minute specifications mentioned by UPSC regarding the photograph. Point there is, it is of course to be on a white background. and more than 75% of that photograph is to be overall you and your face and everything. And UPSC has also actually issued a guideline that the photograph should be exactly the same as the one in which you are going to appear for exam and also the interview later on. I do keep coming across many, if I may say, funny photographs of disheveled hair, unkempt beard, or whatever. If you have spectacles, if you are going to wear those spectacles, etc., etc. First of all, in addition to sort of bad impression, remember the rule. The photograph is to be as you are going to appear for, say, prelim, mains, and then interview. To that extent, all I will say is it is not necessarily to be with suit and tie, etc. As you are going to appear refers to being properly dressed, the attire. But if the photograph is with beards, like Ketan, then you are to appear for the exam and interview with beards. It's not like the photograph was bearded, but I appeared for interview clean shaven because you came to know that one of the panel members have a marriageable daughter and they are looking for a proper suitor for their daughter. So I look better, clean shaven, etc., etc. Principle is exact photograph as you are going to appear for prelim, mains, and more importantly, the interview. Okay. So, my dear friends, I hope this helps you. All my absolute best wishes for you. Now, let me see if there are any questions. Ketan and Mayur, you may care to like open the chat box, go through the questions. And if you think some one particular question needs to be brought to my notice, that one. And then, of course, those who are attending, in case you think that you want to raise the question right now, of course, raise your hand. My faculty will like unmute and open your mic and feel free to go ahead and ask the question. So, any questions, please? I'm on my screen trying to find out how I can open my chat box.
Sir,
Hmm.
I just want to bring your attention to this question by Avinash
Yeah.
Dharmadhikari.
Huh.
He's asking, sir, I am from Maratha caste. My previous attempt is in EWS category, and
Hmm.
current attempt I want to give in OBC category in Kundi. What you want to suggest me?
As long as it is within 3 months of the filling of the form, it is okay. And you need the latest certificate also. The certificate also has to be as latest as possible. As long as that is done, feel free to fill up your form from among the requisite category.
Sir, there is another question by Sharon. She says, dear sir, I'm focusing on IPS and read about the physical eligibility for the same. I
Yeah.
have myopia beyond the passable limit as mentioned
Huh.
in the notification.
Huh.
Would you suggest that I opt for LASIK surgery? If
Hmm.
yes, shall I
Hmm.
get it done now or wait for until after the mains?
Yes, Sharon. Right now, my best wishes for you, of course. Right now, focus fully on preparation. Do fill up IPS as your first choice. I think whatever myopic nature you are telling me, I don't think that will be any factor in your being chosen for IPS. As to surgery, of course, reserve it for post main exam time. Don't worry right now. So it is okay if you perform that surgery after the mains. Okay. All the best for you.
So there is another question by Aditya.
Hmm.
He asks, while getting a passport, I think it is while getting a passport photo, should the earrings in the ear be removed or not?
If you are going to wear earrings for the exam and interview, let them be there. If your plan is not to have them for mains and especially interview, then it is better if you remove earrings. As far as UPSC exam is concerned, the way I'm putting it is, I'm not sure whether UPSC panels will appreciate a male wearing earrings. But as a human being, you of course have every right to wear if you want to wear. But then also remember that some panel member may bring up that issue in discussion. You are most welcome to smile then and then respond, okay, that it is also our cultural practice. If you are from Maharashtra region, you may perhaps remember that until recently also, men also wearing a kind of ring. In Marathi, it was called Bhigbali. It's a kind of ornament. So men also used to wear it. So it is okay. Remember, the guiding principle is, as far as possible, your exact hulia, the nature, the photograph in which you are going to appear for prelim, mains and inter. Okay.
Sir, there are 2-3 questions regarding hobbies. So I'm combining together.
Yeah.
One is, can I mention about reading Marathi novels? Can we write
Absolutely.
specifically?
Yes, absolutely. You can write specifically. And this friend of ours who is saying so, let me take this opportunity to bring it to his or her notice that I can assure you that at least one member on the panel will be very knowledgeable about Maharashtra, including Marathi language. And if it comes to like Marathi novels, so non-fiction, etc., get ready accordingly. We have ample time on hand. But right now, in terms of filling up the form, if your question is, can I write this as my hobby? Of course you can. Most welcome.
Yes, sir. So a similar question. Sandeep is asking, can I mention interest in learning Indian regional languages?
Absolutely. Again, personally, I would even congratulate Sandeep. How I wish each one of us thinks of picking up at least one language other than our mother tongue. Indian language other than our mother tongue. I believe it is part of our process of national integration. So if you personally like, plus you have that character, the correct English word for it is polyglot. Polyglot, that you have it in you to learn many languages, then of course you are blessed and do right, and of course do learn these other languages.
So there is another question by Shubham. He's asking, my father is primary teacher. What will be father's profession in this case? Government employee or teaching? I come under OBC in central list. What should be my action for OBC non-criminal as as income from salary is above 8 lakh?
That second part is, if I may say, sadly crystal clear. That if overall income has to be counted as per UPSC rules is above 8 lakh, then I'm afraid you will not get the benefit of reservations and you will have to compete in open category. First part depends on whether your father's school is a government school or not. If it is a government school, then he will be held as government servant. If it is a private school, then the profession will have to be teaching. Jilla Parishad schools uh, legally are not government schools, but the rules and regulations are about conduct rules are same as government ones. So depending on that, I hope this helps you and the issue is clear for you, right? It is a Jilla Parishad school. Yeah.
So there is another question by Vidyashri. She's asking, I have hobbies to watch drama or serials, which may be from India or may not be from India. So should I mention it in DAF form? And she's specifically asking example Pakistani drama.
Absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. In all these years, even I have come across youngsters writing this, including Pakistani drama, and then I have discussed Bakra Kishton Pe with them. Bakra Kishton Pe is one of the funniest Pakistani dramas. As usual, the sad part for Pakistan was that the main character played by the actor in Bakra Kishton Pe, meanwhile has turned an utterly fanatic Islamic person. That is what Pakistan is all about. But you want to watch and you like, say, Pakistani drama, etc., I would say it is perfectly okay. And also get ready to then discuss all those serials and all.
So there is another question by Shravani.
Hmm.
She's saying, I filled up for the combined exam form and the exam is on 2nd February. But
Hmm.
honestly, I'm not getting completely prepared for that. And now I'm getting cold feet and
Hmm.
thinking if I should just focus on UPSC and
Hmm.
let go of this exam. I
Yeah.
remember your advice, hold the
Yeah.
nerve, but I
Yeah.
feel considering travel time and all, if I'm
Hmm.
just wasting my time, what should I
Hmm.
do?
Simple, Shravani. If you are convinced that you are not well prepared enough, then no point in giving this exam. From technical point of view, your attempt is counted only when you enter the exam hall and you sign on a document, then attempt is counted. So the exam is scheduled for 2nd of February. And like you told, you are not sure that you are well prepared, then again my suggestion will be don't bother, don't go for the exam, but now focus fully on UPSC prelims, right?
So Sarthak is asking, we mention the should we mention the work done in Kolhapur and Sangli flood as leadership?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It is a great thing. And of course, as usual, prepare for possible discussion on that point. Then, for example, in the interview, the discussion will not necessarily remain restricted to Kolhapur Sangli floods alone. It could go to some other sad but floods of a massive scale like Nalla Periyar Dam in Kerala or other places, and that discussion can then go to say climate change, increasing disasters, this thing known as extreme weather events and all. That is how the interview will go. You remember that? But in terms of mentioning this work we did, of course, we did our duty, but it is important to mention and worthwhile mentioning as like position of leadership, etc.
So Remanshu is asking, I have participated in Republic Day parade at district level from Sainik School. Should I mention this or not? As you said that to mention from the achievement should be from university or state level.
Hmm. Hmm. If it was RD parade at district, I'm afraid it is not what UPSC is saying. However, sometimes some such entries are there. So if you have proper space left on your form, my suggestion will be it is worth mentioning. And then again, then remember all kinds of like 360-degree questions once you mention that. Questions could then go in the direction of what is RD parade, how it is held, etc. And at state level, at national level, what is the format, what was the role you did, so on and so forth. Hmm? I'll just take this opportunity to share an interesting piece with you people. Sort of, this is also a question we have been asking in the mock interviews we are conducting in Delhi because we just had our Republic Day like 3 days ago. Uh, what is the first contingent? Always the first contingent in our Republic Day parade at Delhi, huh? At Delhi, National Republic Day parade. The first contingent. Okay. Sort of take your own time to think in your mind. For want of time, I will let the cat out, so to say. Huh? It is always the Paramveer Chakra Vijetas, PVC. And Paramveer Chakra is India's highest military award, only to be given for performance in the war, mind you. So Paramveer Chakra is never given to a military personnel for some duty during peacetime. Then it could be, say, Ashok Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, etc., etc. The highest Paramveer Chakra is only for performance during the war. And it is so important that if a military personnel has Paramveer Chakra, okay, then remember that even the highest and senior most of military officers are required to salute the Paramveer Chakra Vijeta. So PVC is considered like even above general or admiral or air chief marshal. These are the sort of tidbits, but how deep you go given a subject. And like if you participated RD parade at district level, but having done that, as a future officer, panel wants to see your your nature, your character of going deep into anything that you take. In terms of mentioning on the DAF, my suggestion to you personally is this is worth mentioning on OAF.
Yes. So Sakshi is asking if we have worked on research paper for our masters, then in which column can it be mentioned?
This could be like as a part of even leadership position, that preparing a research paper, etc. If your research paper, let's say, had like A certification, A plus, or like at university level you got gold medal, etc., then it is worth mentioning in prizes and medals, etc. But point is, research paper is definitely worth mentioning, at least in the even leadership positions you held.
Yes. So there is question by Nayan.
Hmm.
I had spent my childhood in RSS and ABVP. I
Hmm.
led a lot of social work with RSS, like in COVID,
Hmm.
canal flood in
Hmm.
Parvati Paitha. Can
Hmm.
I mention RSS in it?
Actually, from UPSC format point of view, my suggestion is just say social service. And if it formally comes up in the discussion, how did you do, what was the platform, etc., then you may mention it over there. Clear mention, I'm afraid, can cut both ways. Partially, if someone has a certain, say, bias against RSS and Sangha Pariwar, okay? Or on the other hand, especially these days, there is reason to think that people with bias against Sangha Parivar may not find place on UPSC panels. Point is, on the other hand, this may be perceived as an attempt to unduly influence the process, that the guy is trying to make an impression and that I belong to RSS Parivar and so select me, etc. So on balance, my suggestion is do mention that I participated various social service activities. And if that generates actual questions in the interview about what was the platform, etc., etc., then it is, according to me, perfectly okay to also mention. But then also remember that all kinds of possible questions, as usual, this is very true of every entry. So if it is about RSS or ABVP or any organization in Sangha Parivar, then like possible hundreds of questions. Let us, my best wishes for you and everyone that you finally also reach the interview stage, you get selected. But then in interview, remember this is the centenary year of RSS. So all kinds of discussion on what is RSS, the ideology, therefore the term Hindutva, then does RSS influence policy making at say national level or at state level, etc., so on and so forth, right? I hope it helps you sort out the issue.
Sir, there are similar questions asked by many. Yes, sir.
With your and with everyone's permission,
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to say, if you people allow, let's have on the higher side another about 5 minutes.
Yes.
So you or Mayur, whoever can quickly scan through and
Yes, sir.
see the questions. I'm here to try and respond to maximum number of questions. But with my next assignment coming up, so my suggestion is try to pick up
Yes.
such questions you think need to be answered right now.
Yes.
And if required, I will, but let me know. Let's
Yes.
see, is it possible? Someone is asking my hobby is so and so.
So there is a question from Nanda Patil.
Huh.
Uh, is it okay for me to include my invitation to the UN headquarters in NYC for a conference on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam um, as one of
Absolutely,
my
more than
achievements? Okay,
yes,
but she's
yes.
yes, so she is saying I do not have a certificate for that, but I do
You
have
don't
the
need.
photos for my experience.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. You don't need a certificate. You don't need. Yeah, this is an achievement worth mentioning. And as usual, also remember all kinds of 360-degree questions, but do mention it on OAF.
yes.
Yes.
So Swaroop is saying, sir, my final year engineering project was association with DRDO, but the
Hmm,
technical specifications are not to be relieved in public domain. So can I
hmm.
mention it in my
Yes,
DAF? And we have
yes,
won 5 national level competition prizes.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And in the event of a specific question in the interview, the simple answer is what is just mentioned. That sorry, sir, for national security purposes, I'm not supposed to divulge those details, but do mention it on your form.
Yes, sir.
Kind
Yes.
of Mayur Ketan. Okay.
Mhm.
What I will also say is, uh, my dear friends, my last call also will be for like all of you. So I leave the discretion to you with, of course, my full trust in you. So take a pause and think whether, no, there is something you must know right now. Okay. I am there, but I leave it to you. Just so let me just know if apart from even Mayur and Ketan reading your messages, then making their decision and in a way acting as uh, editors, apart from that, every single one who is right now attending, if any one of you, you feel or you are convinced, no, I have to ask this to sir, you are most welcome. I am here. Let me know. Okay, looks like
Yes.
sort of everyone is happy. Okay, some legal document, something.
Yes.
This Neha and Sushant, they said they had raised hand. Neha Joshi and Sushant. Many others are thanking for this guidance. I'm sure they are speaking for everyone. And as you know, my dear friends, I am happy if you are happy. So if this session is happy, if you develop this now, the sense of relaxation, if you feel comfortable, then of course I am happy. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, my dear friends, all my absolute best wishes for all of you. Okay. Do keep in touch. And as we progress, we are going to now focus on preparing for prelims to absolutely clear the prelims. So, bless you all.